Hello everyone, it's me, Jess Jones. I hope you're feeling the love today, as I know I truly am. I'm just tuning in to bring a little bit of awareness into our minds today. Something that's been really an important thing that I've kind of learned in the past 4 or 5 months is really diving into my mind and into understanding the difference between my consciousness and my subconscious mind, as this is a huge resource that once we recognize the truth behind what our conscious mind and subconscious mind actually are, we can tap into our being and help to change our habits, change our program, and really recognize how powerful we truly are. About a month or two ago, I went and saw Dr. Bruce Lipton speak at Agape International Spiritual Center, and I highly recommend checking out his information. BruceLipton.com is his website, and I'm going to be talking about a little bit of what he has uncovered through quantum physics, and I'm really looking forward to sharing this information with you, so I hope you enjoy. So today we're going to be really talking about what exactly cultural programming is. I talk about being programmed a lot, and today I'm going to really discuss about what that program means. And you might have heard this from other teachers as well, this idea that we've been programmed into fitting into a certain box, for lack of better terms, or a certain way of being and living on this planet based on, depending on what society or culture, religion, or ethnicity you're in. Each one of those has kind of a box or a program that is really nicely packaged and designed for you to live within it. And a lot of us are feeling that design, that package that was created, hundreds of years ago, doesn't really fit our vision or what we're thinking about our lives anymore, because it just doesn't make sense, So, diving into the awareness of our conscious and our subconscious. And to begin this conversation, I think it's really important for us to understand what our conscious and our subconscious mind are, because in the past, the idea of what the conscious and subconscious mind has been a little bit wrong. And for a long time, psychology thought that the conscious and the subconscious mind worked together, that they were able to work together, and that means that when you change your consciousness, you automatically change your subconscious. And this is so not the truth. Our consciousness and our subconscious mind are two separate minds within our brain, and they cannot act together. Actually, when one of them is acting, the other one is not capable of acting. And this is really, really important for us to recognize, so that we may be able to change our habits and change those thought patterns more effectively in the future. So, as far as what exactly some little key points that are important to understand about our conscious and our subconscious mind. Our consciousness is our creative will. It's where we are able to create and manifest. It's our divine creative force within us. It is our prefrontal cortex. And, you've heard of our 6th and 7th chakra, the pineal and the pituitary gland. Those are both within your prefrontal cortex, within the consciousness of the mind. This is 10% of your brain. And it's positive. It's positive energy, the divine creative force within you. It is your personality, your identity, and your source. All live within your consciousness. Is 10% of the brain. So, a little bit of an info on the consciousness. So let's dive into the subconscious, because this one is really where we're going to focus today. The subconscious is going to be the other 90% of the brain. So it's a lot, it's a majority of your brain. It is a record and playback device. It holds on to your memories and as habits and instincts and experiences. So anything that you have learned throughout your life, and it's been taught to you through habit, for instance, walking, learning to ride your bike, brushing your teeth, all of these habits are programs of the subconscious mind that you've learned. Any other thing like, for instance, when you were younger, your family was struggling with money, The lack and limitation, that habit of holding onto money and holding onto anxiety and stress over money, is going to be stored into your subconscious mind as a program, because you've seen the habit for lack and limitation throughout your existence when you were growing up. Our subconscious mind is very resistant to change, and it's resistant to change because, well, the reason it was created is so that you don't want to have to wake up every single day and relearn how to walk, right? I personally don't. I love being able to wake up freely, get out of my bed, go for a walk, go for a run, and not have to think about that. That's beautiful. However, our subconscious program has been used against us to program the wrong thoughts, the wrong patterns, the wrong habits into our minds. And that's what I really want to talk to you about today, because we actually use our subconscious mind 95 to 99% of the time. That means like 1 to 4 or 5% of the time we're using our consciousness. And if our consciousness is our personality, identity, our source, our creative power, we definitely want to learn how to tap into that more than just 1 to 5% of the time. That means that 99% of the time you are talking and living and playing someone else's program. And I want to go more into this program. I don't know if we're completely clear on it yet, and it will make a lot of sense once we understand the formation of the brain. So, as a being, when you are born onto this planet, when you come into your mother's womb and you exit the womb and you enter this world for the first time as an infant, from 0 to 2 years of your age, you only have the brainwave of delta within your mind. The delta brainwave is the lowest, deepest vibrational brainwave, and it's a very, very deep sound sleep. So that's why infants from 0 to 2, they're really spending most of their time sleeping. They're in this dream state, and they spend a lot of time sleeping, and that's where they're at. And then at 2 years old, through about 7 years old, we develop what is called our theta brainwaves. Our theta brainwaves are our imagination, their hallucination power, and this is an area that really is where the programming happens. So between 2 and 7 years old is when the theta brainwaves come in, and the theta brainwaves are like sponges. Everything that it sees happening around it, it takes in as truth. Because the theta brainwaves aren't yet at a vibration where they can distinguish or have its own thought about what is coming in and being able to say, oh, that's real or not real. Everything that comes in between 2 and 7 is real to the theta brainwaves. That's why children and the 2 to 7 years of age, they ride around on broomsticks like they're witches, and they have imaginary friends that they very, very truly see within their being. It's because their brainwave, their consciousness is at this theta state. This theta state is also the state that we reach when we are in meditation, deep relaxation. And the theta brainwaves are also used for hypnosis. And this is very, very important to understand. Theta brainwaves are used for hypnosis. So, between 2 and 7 years of age, our societies have been hypnotizing us into believing certain programs are right or wrong. For instance, McDonald's does a lot of their marketing all for children between the ages of 2 to 7. And their marketing was, I think that there have maybe laws that have passed against this now, because it's totally wrong to brainwash children into believing that they need to eat fast food, and which is slowly killing them. So I think that there might have been laws. If not, we need to work on some laws to pass that, because that is totally wrong. But we are hypnotized between that 2 to 7 years of age. Anything you experience between 2 to 7 years of age, you are now taking in as your program. So if you were raised in a household where your parents, struggled with money, they maybe fought with each other, maybe they didn't show you the kind of love that you needed, you programmed into your subconscious mind fear, doubt, lack, and limitation, not enough. So 99% of the time for the rest of your life, unless you tap into your consciousness by becoming present, you are now forever, 99% of the time, playing back the subconscious program of fear, doubt, lack, and limitation. That's why people struggle with, manifestation and different things like that, or transforming their lives, because they don't realize that they've picked up this program from their parents or from their society or from the religion. You know, we get baptized within those first 7 years into your religion. You get, start going to school within those first 7 years. So you get into the government's program of, in America, it's 9 to 5 work at a job. So right away they put children before that 7th year of age into a 9 to 5 school system where they are starting to program them into being robots that will continue to work this 9 to 5 lifestyle that is just totally not right for the human species to be living. So, but that is how they get us into falling into these patterns, because they get us before we're 7, before we have the ability to decide for ourselves that what they're telling us is not right or wrong. By that point, we've already been completely brainwashed and programmed into knowing that we're supposed to be working these 9 to 5 jobs. Money is the key to happiness. Love is something that is outside of us, not within us. It needs to be experienced by an object. All of these different programs. If you can think back to your experience between 2 and 7 years old, what did your family look like? What did your religion look like? What did your culture look like? What did your society look like? What were people telling you? And then tap into your own personal beliefs about all of those things and see where you might have been influenced by the things that were showing up. I personally had a deep sense of fear, doubt, lack, and limitation from what I experienced in my first few years of life, where my parents struggled with money and struggled with these things and were going through a divorce, and it was very not friendly or happy. And I really dealt with a lot of fears over money and being safe and secure. And they were things that I really needed to become present and recognize that, wow, that was because of the way my parents were at that time of my life, not because of my own personal truth. And recognizing that has allowed me to separate myself, to put in new programs, and which we'll talk about how to do that in a few minutes. And to really rise above that lack and limited mindset that tells me I'm not enough. And so that's very important that we understand and see that connection between those first 7 years of our life and our picking up of our program. And so now maybe we have a better understanding of what people are talking about when they say you have been programmed. But that's okay, because we can change our program. What happens next is, from 7 to 12 years old, we develop our alpha brainwaves. Alpha brainwaves are our conscious mind. It's a relaxed, calm, and lucid way of thinking. So when alpha brainwaves are developed, we start to have our own opinion over if someone's telling us something. We can say, that doesn't feel right, yes or no, But before that, 7 years of old, we don't have the ability in our brain to really do that. So a lot of teenagers, 7 through 12, people that's when parents usually say their kids, stop listening and become opinionated and start to argue. It's because we now are capable of saying these crazy programs that you've been putting in my mind don't feel right to me anymore. And that age is the age that children will run away from home. They'll really become, rebellious, or those first few teenage years are very, very tough for a lot of parents because the children stop listening. And it's because we are now able to say what you're telling us is either right or wrong. That's where that comes from, that alpha brainwave state. Moving on, just to continue to move on through this, we have from 12 to 13 years old, we develop our beta brainwaves, and this is going to be our active mind, our awake, our normal alert state. So that's beautiful. 13, then you really become very opinionated at that point of your life, I remember when I turned 13 to 15, I was just very opinionated, very much at questioning everything I had ever been told, because my mind was now thinking, and it was thinking, that doesn't seem right. The programs that I've been believing about myself are not right. That doesn't feel right. So that's why that kind of takes place around 13 years old. So now that we have an understanding of our brainwaves and how our program really happens, how we become programmed, how we can program each other, how our governments have been programming us, how our religions have been programming us, how our cultures, our family, everything around us has been programming us, because we're multidimensional beings and we are capable of picking up on the energies of everything around us and taking that energy in as our own and not having the ability to distinguish if that energy is truly ours or not. So it's important to recognize these shifts between our subconscious and our conscious mind, because as we begin to take these next steps and the energy starts to flood into this planet as we begin for the first wave of ascension, it's really important that we start to address the programs of our subconscious mind. And now that we're having this newfound awareness of what our conscious and our subconscious mind is through quantum physics, we're actually truly finally able to know how to change the programs of our subconscious mind. Before all of this new information came out, I mentioned that psychology thought that the conscious and the subconscious mind worked together, so that if you change something in your conscious mind, so for instance, you have a habit for drinking coffee. It's a very easy one to kind of tap into. You have a habit for drinking coffee. If you stop drinking coffee, you decide I want to stop drinking coffee. So you make that conscious decision to stop drinking coffee, and maybe you stop drinking coffee for a day or two. And then day 4, 5, 6, you're dying for coffee. So you start drinking coffee again. So the reason that happens is because coffee for you has been deeply woven into your subconscious mind as a habit that you require in the morning for energy. Thinking that you want to change and break this habit is not enough. Unfortunately, our subconscious mind is very powerful, and just having the thought to change isn't enough. If it's a program that has been in your life, a habit that has been in your life for a long time, it's part of your subconscious. And in order to change that, it takes more than just changing the conscious behavior about it. You have to truly, deeply change the habit. So the beautiful thing is that we've now recognized that the way that we change the subconscious mind is by the exact way that the subconscious mind learns. So the subconscious mind learns through habits, through repeating something over and over and over again until it's a habit, an instinct, an intuitive knowing within you that just naturally reacts. So that's why you might have heard someone say in the past it takes 21 days to kick a habit. That's because you are taking the time to reprogram the subconscious mind through the same way it learns. So if you want to kick coffee, you better mark on your calendar 21 days of not drinking coffee, because you've got to change the habits. If you just go 4 days without drinking coffee and start drinking coffee, you go on the 5th day and think, oh, I'm just going to have this cup and then I'll be fine. No, you need to go for the whole 21 days, change, purify, detox that habit. And if 21 days is not enough for some deep, deep habits, 40 days is a master number to really flush out any programs of the subconscious mind. So, how to tap into our conscious mind now? Now that we have an understanding of how we change our subconscious mind by implementing new habits into our being and sticking to them. It takes discipline. It's not easy to change the programs of the subconscious mind. Some of us have been living with these programs for as long as we've been on the planet. And depending on what age you are, that could be a very long time. So it's going to take work and discipline. And most importantly, compassion. We need to be compassionate and loving towards ourselves, and then very disciplined. We need to actually do this work. You need to do 21 days of kicking coffee, or 21 days of meditation, or 21 days of breathing for 3 minutes straight and watching your thoughts. 21 days of anything that you need to change. And if that's not enough, 40 is the next best number, okay? For changing that subconscious program. The important thing to note, to now touch on our consciousness and how to tap into our consciousness. So, because 95% of the time our subconscious mind is working, that means that 95% of the time, you are reacting and speaking and living your life, and you're not conscious of it. So the things you're saying, you may not remember. You know, have you driven home before and you got home and you literally were like, how did I just get home? I have no memory of driving home. Well, your subconscious mind was driving you the whole way. The subconscious mind knows your path to get home, even driving home from work for X amount of time. It's programs. Yeah. So that is where, to how to put like a note in your mind to draw your awareness to the times when your subconscious mind might be working and you actually have no awareness of it. So that's 95% of most of our time that we're living in this subconscious, unconscious state of living. And another important thing to become aware is that within this 95% of the time, if, for instance, your conscious mind, you're thinking, you're having thoughts, that's coming from your conscious mind. If your conscious mind is thinking, you cannot reuse your conscious mind to speak. So, what that means. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and they're speaking to you and you're thinking about what you want to say in response? You're actually not even listening to them. You're thinking in your mind, your consciousness is thinking all the things it would like to say in response. Since your consciousness is thinking of all these things it would like to say in response, when you actually respond, you respond from your subconscious program. So you're not even speaking those true thoughts of your consciousness because you're still thinking about them. And then you respond not having even heard what the other person said, and you respond not having even given your own true thought because your thoughts are still going. So your subconscious program kicks in. Anytime the conscious mind is working, thinking, being present, all of that, the subconscious mind responds for you. So that's very, very important to become aware of. The way that we cultivate our conscious mind so that we have access of it, so that we are no longer 1% of the time living within our consciousness, but working towards striving for that, 80% of the time working from our consciousness. Because, 20% of the time, when we're brushing our teeth, when we're getting up to walk, knowing how to ride our bike, let's let our subconscious program handle all those beautiful habits. But let's get rid of the program ones by focusing on our consciousness. So, how we tap into our conscious mind is by being present. You've heard a lot of amazing yogis and people talk to you about being present right now and how important it is to be present on this planet and in this life. And present means you're not thinking about the past. It means you're not worrying about the future. You're not even worrying about tomorrow. You're 100% in this moment. And in this moment, you're not thinking about anything else. You pretty much have no thought. You're breathing, you're being, you're enjoying the moment. Yeah, sounds impossible to a lot of us because we have these thoughts that are just racing all of the time. And I totally understand that because I was there too. My thoughts would just take control. And it was wild. But I'm living proof that we have this power within us to overcome those thoughts. And I want to share that with you. To become present, the number one trick and secret, the number one secret about being present is that the only thing that happens in this present moment that you can control and be aware of is your breath. So, if you find yourself fantasizing for the future or worrying about the past, you recognize now that that is not being present. To take yourself back into the present moment, to take back your power, to take back your consciousness, your creative desire to be amazing in this life, focus on your breath. If you notice your mind starts to worry, starts to think about what it has to do later today, stop what you're doing, put your hand on your belly, maybe put your hand on your heart, and close your eyes and just start to follow your breath. Feel your hands rise and fall as your breath moves in and out of your body. Feel your hands grounding yourself into the present moment. And then just follow your breath move in and out of your being for 1 to 3 minutes to help you come back into the present moment. Maybe, start off with 30 seconds. If this is something new to you, be gentle, be loving, be compassionate with yourself. It's going to take time. It's going to take time and it's going to take effort, but it's so worth it. And as long as you dedicate yourself to being loving and compassionate and kind, then 30 seconds is enough right now. And then maybe in a week you're up to a minute. And then maybe in 2 weeks you're up to 3 minutes. And then maybe in a month you're up to 10 minutes of sitting in silence watching your breath. And in 3 months you're up to 20. And in 4 months you're up to 25. And then 6 months from now you're sitting in 30 minutes of meditation, completely silent, completely present. And then a year from now you can spend a whole day in presence. And 2 years you can spend a whole week. That's how it works. It's a slow process of opening our mind. But the beautiful thing is that was kind of my timeline. But I awoke at an earlier time because I'm here to help, to lead others and to teach others how to walk on the path of ascension, to teach others how to live in the fifth dimension. That's what I'm here to be a part of and to share with the world. So I received all of this information a few years ago, and now I'm aware that the planet is vibrating at such an amazing frequency. I think I read last night that it's up to 33 hertz the earth is vibrating at, and months ago the earth was vibrating at 7 hertz. The fifth dimension is only 12 hertz, so the earth is vibrating over double the frequency of the fifth dimension that the earth is ascending to. So we have the power right now to rapidly shift the habits of our subconscious program and tap into our consciousness. That is where we're at, because the earth is evolving, the earth is awakening, and the earth is ascending. And it's time for us to take our power back by recognizing we've been programmed. And that's okay. Because now it's time for us to take our power back by recognizing we are programmed to begin with, and then changing those programs. It's not impossible to change these programs, but you do have to truly desire to change. You can listen to this all you want, but listening to this is just not enough. You've got to be the change that you wish to see in this world. Gandhi was not making that up. He saw something before his time, Be the change you wish to see in this world. If you want to change your subconscious program, you've got to be that change. If you want to change a habit within someone else, you need to change that habit within yourself. If you want to change the external environment around you, you need to change your inner world. Be the change that you wish to see in this world. Now is the time for us to change together. I am here to serve you through this change and through this awakening. If this message has strung up questions, has strung up thoughts, has strung up anything for you, please contact me. I'd love to speak with you and to help to uplift your soul and to open your mind and to heal your heart and to be a support for you through your awakening and through the ascension. Always contact me. You can reach me through my email, jessjones@gmail.com, or you can sign up for one of my free services. I offer free angel card readings, chakra healing, meditation, and prayer through my website, theartofbeinghappy.org. Please take advantage of me as your angel of light and love right now. I'm here to fully support your awakening and to teach the truth to you. So please don't hesitate to reach out with me for questions about anything that I spoke about today. It's so important to recognize how powerful you are. You are powerful. You have all the confidence to create an amazing life for yourself. Granted, you know how powerful you are. And now as we take our power back of our subconscious program, we take it all back. They cannot manipulate you or convince you of fear or tell you that you're not enough. when you're standing in your power and your truth as a spiritual being. Thank you so much for listening today, and please leave your comments if you have any questions. Email me, check out my site, let me know. I'm here for you. I'm here for your love. I'm here to make sure that this process into ascension feels good, okay? There's a lot of energy coming in right now, and I'm supporting you, okay? We're in this together. I love you so much. Namaste.